Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Unstoppable Podcast Show. My name is Jennifer Hardy, and I am here joined today by the lovely Natasha Bray. How are you doing, Natasha?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course, so lovely to have you on today. You do some really amazing work out there, and basically, well, let's put it in a little bit of a nutshell. You help women gain control over their body, health, and eating habits whilst learning to love and believe in themselves again. I think that is absolutely beautiful. You've got a few unique approaches to actually healing body and mind for rapid life-changing results, and we'll go into a little bit more about that a little bit later on. But tell me, how did you find this path? How are you now doing what you're doing?
Well, to cut a long story short, I had problems with food for most of my life, up until the last few years, really. So I had a difficult childhood. I was bullied a lot for being overweight, experienced some abuse as well. So I had a lot that I was going through, and my way of dealing with that was food. So I became addicted to sugar. Food was my comfort. And as I got a bit older then, I wanted to lose the weight, and I tried many dangerous ways, anything I could find to lose the weight, because I didn't know how to do it safely. So I ended up taking diet pills, laxatives, exercising for 5 hours at a time, anything I could find that would help me lose weight, because I was so concerned about the weight. It was just a big issue for me. It was, to me, my self-worth was linked to my weight, and that's where I went wrong. And I ended up with adrenal fatigue, infertility problems, heart palpitations. My hair was falling out. I was really weak. So I'd gone from a size 16 to a size 6, and I still thought I was fat. So that's where the important aspect around the mindset and helping women change their mind when weight loss is really important. And then I started researching nutrition, because I'd got myself into this really bad state. My body was falling apart, and started researching nutrition, how to heal my body naturally, and that's where my business all began, really. So a lot of it's been learning from what happened to me, and that passion to not let that happen to other women.
So going back to when you were younger, was there any kind of like small inkling that you were, what they normally say about kids, they're fussy eaters or anything like that? Was there any kind of little telltale signs or anything at all that was coming up?
That's hard. Well, not to other people, because I did it in secret. So when I was going through the sort of sugar addiction stage, I would take food in secret, take it from the cupboards without my mother knowing, or buy it from the shop and eat it in secret. I would even eat my school lunch in the toilets, because there was this thing around eating food in secret. So I don't think people really knew. And then when I started losing the weight, I don't think people understood how I was doing it, because on the outside I looked like I had just become fit and healthy.
Wow, yeah.
So they didn't realize actually how I was achieving that, and how I was abusing my body, really.
It's something that is so, I don't think it's talked about enough. It's I honestly believe that for every woman there is some sort of hold that food has over them in some capacity. Because I can go through weeks and months of being super healthy, and I've been vegan for a while and vegetarian, things like that. But do I always look at my body in the mirror and completely 100% appreciate it and love it? No. Are there things I always feel as if, that needs to be tighter, that needs to look better? Yes. And there's a real lack of complete self-love and self-appreciation, I think, when it comes to the female form. And that has to change. Yeah,
that's what I learned myself, really, on this whole journey. Even though I was a size 6, I still thought I was fat. I was still finding problems in my body and things I needed to change. And it took a lot longer actually to realize that you'll never be happy, whatever you do, however much weight you lose, until you learn to really love yourself. Yeah. And once you do really love yourself, weight loss becomes easy. The issues with food disappear.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's a big part of what I do. A big part of what I do is the emotional healing that's needed around loving yourself, or even just liking yourself, because lots of women don't even like themselves, let alone being able to actually say they love themselves, you know?
Yeah, it's so true. So tell me, what would you say to anyone that's out there just now and they're really, really struggling with the relationship with food, and they're looking for some steps or some help or some guidance or someone just to kind of give them this magic wand to make things better, which is what everyone wants when they're struggling with something. But what would your piece of advice be to them?
Well, what I always say is problems with food are never because of the food itself.
Yeah.
They really need to work on their relationship with themselves, and that will hugely transform their relationship with food. Yeah. So I run regular free self-love challenges in my free Facebook group as well. So that could be a good start for a lot of women. There's a few good books as well. Gay Hendricks has got a book, Learning to Love Yourself. It's a really good place to start if women are struggling with this. Like I said, I run a free 5-day self-love challenge. Small, manageable tasks to help women create a shift inside them to help them learn to love themselves again. But yeah, your relationship with food, your problems with food are not because of the food itself. It's something else inside that needs to be worked on, a personal development thing, self-love thing.
Do you feel as if there was anything I'm just going back to, because I love digging a little bit deep into this stuff, because it's so important for people out there listening. When you were a little bit younger, was there, or even like, you know, when you were in the kind of throes of your eating disorders, was there anything was there like some sort of big dramatic thing that happened? Was there some trauma? What was it that led, or do you think that could have possibly led to the way that you felt about food?
It was the way I felt about myself. I had no self-worth. And like I said, my self-worth was attached to being slim. But even when I achieved that, I still wasn't happy. So obviously the bullying and the abuse in my childhood led to those issues.
Yeah.
But what led to me wanting to change was the fact that I'd become infertile. It was unexplained infertility. I'd had tests, I'd paid privately. And I realised, I knew deep down, it's because of what I was doing to my body, and that I always wanted children. And that fear that I'd ruined my chance of having children was a big trigger for me to change what I was doing and stop my body.
Yeah. You talk a little bit in your bio here about rapid transformational therapy. I've never heard of this before, and I would love to find out a little bit more about it. What exactly is it?
It is an absolutely amazing, quite new therapy, which is probably why you haven't heard of it before. Yeah. So the woman who developed it is one of the top therapists in the UK. Her name's Marissa Peer, and she put rapid transformational therapy together from her 30 years of experience of working in the field. She tends to work with celebrities and royals and things like that, so she's quite highly regarded and respected. So I trained with her earlier this year, and the results that my client's going to absolutely outstanding. And what she says is the root of all issues, very commonly the root of all issues, is the belief that I am not enough, the belief we're not enough, the lack of self-love that we have. So what it actually is a mix of lots of different therapies put into one. So lots of people have heard of hypnosis.
Yeah, absolutely.
It uses the hypnosis state and then uses other forms of therapy whilst the person's in the hypnosis state. CBT, parts therapy, NLP, a huge range of different ones tailored to the individual and what comes up in this session. So it works by changing the subconscious beliefs and identifying the root cause of the problem. So if someone comes to you with binge eating, for example, you help that person under hypnosis go back to the root cause of binge eating. And once they know the root cause, we heal it and we can free them from it. It's very, very powerful. So hypnosis, for example, you might have a course of 8 sessions, whereas rapid transformation therapy, you only need 1 session. That's why it's called rapid.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's really powerful. So not only with food and eating issues, but also like helping women in business, removing blocks to success, removing money blocks, things like that. So I've been using it in both contexts with my clients.
Fantastic. This sounds amazing. I'm really want to know more about this and read more. Where can I go and find out more about this rapid transformational therapy? I take it you've got a website, yeah?
Yeah, I've got a website. It's www.guiltfreehealth.com.
Fantastic. And you can go there and find out more about that. And then, of course, though, talk us a little bit about your freebies that you're able to offer. So you've got a free community, I know that.
Yeah.
As well, which is awesome. And then there's a paid community as well, where you give some more value and actually take people through more of a process. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So my free group is called the Nourished Woman Hub on Facebook. There's daily motivation, there's regular monthly free challenges. So this month is free self-love challenge, and then alternates next month will be controlling your cravings challenge. And they all come from a body and mind approach, which is really important. This is why women struggle with yo-yo dieting, because they think you just have to eat less and exercise more. And that approach doesn't work for everyone. There's so many women out there. There's millions of women in the UK alone who have got undiagnosed autoimmune conditions.
Oh, wow.
And you need an approach that heals the gut. The focus is on dairy, gluten and sugar-free foods that help reduce reduction, help heal the lining of the gut, but also then the emotional healing side of things, which is all around self-love, healing any sort of past experiences that have led to emotional attachments to food, that sort of thing as well. So this is why lots of women yo-yo diet, because most normal sort of weight loss programs out there only treat the symptom. Weight gain is just a symptom of something deeper that's going on for that person. So I like to think of it as a bit like sticking a plaster on a wound that needs stitches. So it might hold it together for a little bit, and that's where the women lose a tiny bit of weight, and then the plaster comes off and that wound is worse than it was before. So
that's a really good way.
They end up putting more weight on than the original weight that they lost. So you've got that constant yo-yo then. So everything I offer in my free group and in my paid group is around changing that, healing the body, physically healing the mind as well, so that you can have lasting transformation and lasting weight loss. I like to see the weight loss as a bit of a side effect of,
it really is. Yeah, when you look at it like the way that you've put it today, where you were saying that, you know, when you are in love with your body and you do appreciate it, and you're working on your mental state as well, then you don't want to feed it the stuff that you would normally do, because you want it to feel clean and healthy and great. And I think that is where, I mean, I have been victim of this as well. You know, I need to lose some weight, so just stop eating all the things that I love. But actually, there's always been something deeper going on. So maybe it's been, I'm actually just so much more overworked than what I should be, or I'm actually suffering from exhaustion. That's when I tend to reach out for things that are not great. And then, of course, though, those things, stress, exhaustion, all of that, makes me not love myself as much as I should. You know, all this, and it is a little bit of a vicious circle.
Yeah, definitely.
Try to find something that actually works on not just the food thing. Like, that is almost like a byproduct. It's something that's much deeper rooted.
Yeah. Well, I think self-love and that belief you are enough, once you can work on that, it not only affects your relationship with food, it affects every area of your life, and your business, especially if there's women in business listening to this. Your beliefs about yourself, your belief that you are enough, will have a significant impact on the success of your business too. And I've experienced that myself.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, 100%. It's been fantastic to speak to you today. Thank you so much. I'd love to ask one last question. So I love quotes. I love motivational quotes and inspirational quotes. What would you say would be your favorite one? Just to leave people on a bit of a high today. What's your favorite inspirational quote?
Oh, that's a hard one because I love quotes.
I know, I've got so many.
Favorite. Well, one that I do give out to people a lot is "She believed she could and she did."
Yeah, I love that.
That's one of my favorite. But another one is that you need to feel to heal. So lots of people numb their emotions through food, through alcohol, whatever else it might be, and they're just putting off that healing that needs to be done. So that's another of my faves.
You will probably admit this as well. You know, when you are going deep into yourself and uncovering things that have maybe went on in your past and really bringing it to the forefront so that you can heal from it can be scary, can't it?
Pardon?
It can be quite scary sometimes.
Yeah, it can, definitely, because, you know, we've lived all our lives trying to suppress that. So yeah, it is good to have support and someone you can talk to.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and that's probably what my advice would be. You know, you don't have to do that alone.
No, definitely no. Like some people might feel comfortable doing that alone, but I offer a lot of support around the women who are doing that deeper inner work, because it, you know, it's bringing up a lot.
Yeah, and absolutely, and they need support during the time, but also after. So it's like, okay, the work's been done. I'm feeling a bit better. I feel like I have cleared some stuff. So what's next? So it's that aftercare as well, that it's amazing to have someone kind of holding your hand for a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's not something that you really want to go through alone. And the whole point of my business is to show women they're not alone. Like all the things they're experiencing, the things they might have gone through, the difficulties they're having with food. Most people are too ashamed to talk about it. But actually, so many women are going through the same thing.
I'll ask one last thing from you, Natasha, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Who inspires you, first of all? Who's inspiring you, and also where do you see yourself in around 3 to 5 years? And this is like bigger mission stuff. So not necessarily just inside your business, but in a personal level as well. Where do you see yourself in like between 3 to 5 years, and who inspires you greatly as well?
Oh, that's difficult. I wasn't expecting that question. Okay, I've got lots of women in business that I follow who are making an impact. Anyone making an impact inspires me, and I like to follow them and learn from them. In about 3 to 5 years, well, I've already helped thousands of women, so I would hope by that point I'm reaching millions of women.
Yes.
To, like I said, feel like they're not alone and actually heal the root cause of their issues so that they can experience freedom from food and freedom from self-doubt and freedom from limiting beliefs and blocks in every area of their life.
Definitely. And also just spreading the word and saying you don't have to do these yo-yo diets, you don't have to hurt your body. By doing these things, this is the new way, this is the way that we're all doing it. And yeah, I think very, very quickly the word will spread about the way that in which you teach weight management. I think it's beautiful. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
And I'm excited because I am not in your community yet. I'm excited to join your community and get involved as well. So thank you so much again for spending some time with me today. I think this has been an incredible episode, and I feel as if the people that are listening to this will get a lot from it.
So thank you for having me. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So everyone listening out there, if you want to find out a bit more about where you can find Natasha and her work, then just scroll down below and you will find all the links there. And also, of course, if you want to find out about Unstoppable and the work that we're doing as well, then just below Natasha's work and links are all the Unstoppable details. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening again, wherever you are in the world. It's an absolute pleasure to have you as part of this Unstoppable movement. And thank you for listening to this episode today. We will speak to you real soon. Bye.